We live in an age where nothing seems to have truly happened unless it's been photographed, and ideally with our own face in the foreground or an historic or tragic event shrinking politely in the background. The selfie has become not merely a record of an experience, but a declaration: I was here, I felt this is mine, yet something strange is happening. In our rush to capture every moment, we are paradoxically remembering less. And when the Vatican this morning asked visitors not to take selfies beside the open coffin of the late Pope Francis, they weren't merely preserving decorum, they were, I believe, defending something vital: memory, reverence, and the dignity of the mortal moment itself. Let's start with the selfie, a curious phenomenon, half self-portrait, half performance. Once the privilege of artists and dignitaries, the self-portrait has become the province of everyone with an arm and a front-facing camera. It's the selfie, not the scribbled diary. I didn't know about it until I was on a TV program called The Circle, and then people afterwards started saying, "Can I have a selfie?" Well, I thought that was a rather improper question, and it took me a while to adjust to what they were actually requesting. And it now records our emotional lives: holidays, meals, funerals, even revolutions, filtered and hashtagged for global consumption. Yet these curated slices of experience often tell us more about what we wish to project than what we actually felt. And the anthropologist might call it ritual performance. A psychologist might say it reflects narcissistic tendencies. Perhaps more than anything, it reflects distrust. Distrust in our ability to remember the moment unless we've captured it and stored it on an external device. But here's the irony. Photographing a moment often makes our memory of that moment worse. It's as if we've stored it away. Studies show that taking photographs can distract us from the experience itself, impairing our memory of what actually happened. When we outsource our memories to phones and clouds, we exercise our internal memory less. And like an unused muscle, it weakens. Even those with aphantasia, people who cannot form mental images, do not benefit from endless photography. They too can remember emotions, sounds, context, meanings. Memory, after all, is more than pixels. It's more than images. It's a pattern, it's emotive, it's a narration. And yet the mobile phone has become a prosthetic brain. And unlike our actual brain, it doesn't forget selectively. It forgets context, emotion, sensory richness. It stores data, not memory, not experience. When the Vatican barred mourners from snapping selfies, therefore, beside the body of Pope Francis, they were met with mixed reactions. But consider what they were defending. This was not a concert. This is not a concert. This is a relic of a man who has died. It's a man's deathbed. Public, yes, but still sacred and special. Officials implored visitors, this is not a show. This is, in their words, a religious moment, and quite right. Some, queuing for hours, have lifted their phones in defiance, perhaps unable to imagine paying homage without evidence of their own participation. But what we are doing when we take a selfie next to death, are we memorializing? Is it a memento mori? Or are we inserting ourselves into the center of a moment that is by definition not actually about us? There's dignity in standing, eyes raised and hands empty, not documenting but witnessing. That is what the Church asked of the faithful, not silence alone, but presence. Now, let's speak plainly. The danger is not only poor memory, but false identity. Our phones curate our pasts. We scroll back through stylized archives, mistaking image for experience. But these snapshots, often filtered, cropped, and carefully selected, become a form of fossilized memory. They block out the ambiguities, the forgotten details, the contradictory truths that real memory allows. It's dangerous. Our identities are shaped by a past that actually we may not have really experienced. When that past becomes rigid, defined only by images that we once approved, we risk becoming prisoners of our own performances. What we are approving of is what we observe, not what we participated in. To truly remember something, we must experience it fully. It's not a romantic notion, it's a neurological truth. Depth of memory comes from depth of attention. And a photograph can capture the surface of a moment, but only attention captures its soul. The church, the ancient institution so often mocked for its conservatism, may, in this case, be more modern than we are. By telling pilgrims to put their phones away, it's defending the value of unmediated human experience, that rare and sacred act of simply being there. And this isn't a call to smash our smartphones and follow and throw our Apple phones in our DSLRs into the Tiber. There's a value in the photograph album, in the shared image, in the recording of our lives. But there must also be space, especially in moments of grief and in moments before the lens.